Hey y'all, so it's been a while since I've shared a homeschool haul. It's been a while since I've done one. I felt pretty good about last year. I bought what I needed at the beginning of the school year and I didn't really need to add much else to it. A few things for projects here and there, and I re-upped on our erasable pens. Outside of that, I didn't really buy much. So I was excited about this year and purchasing things for this coming school year. I read through the curriculum that we are using this year, which is Oak Meadow, and I just tried to stick with the things that they suggested we needed to start our school year. That way I'm not over planning and looking too far ahead and buying things we won't actually use. I don't like doing that. I feel like it's a waste of money, time, and energy and my space. So I try not to do that. So I don't think that I've bought a ton of things this year. I've tried to, again, stay with what I needed to start the year, and I'll purchase as we go. I'm sticking with my 3 weeks on, 1 week off schedule, as for right now at least. I don't see that changing, but it's been really helpful for us. So if I'm planning that during that week off for the next 3 weeks session or for the next 2 months or 6 weeks, then I can purchase the things that I need at that time and just spread things out a little bit. And that has worked best. So I do have a place where these things are going to go as they roll in, because I think that temporary storage is important. I don't want packages piling up at my door, and I don't want things getting misplaced. So I'm going to show you what I have on the shelf. I just have 3 bins, and then I'm going to jump into sharing what we got this year. So these last few bins on the shelf are holding our temporary storage. As things come in that we need, they will live here. The books that they're going to be using for their curriculum throughout the year are living here. So this one is for my youngest in 4th grade, Cameron, my oldest in 6th grade, Aiden, and this is things that we might be using together jointly or an overflow, things that I just need for myself for our homeschool are living here. And I think this storage and having a place for these things is really important, again, so that packages aren't piling up and little things aren't getting lost. It just adds to the ease of the space. Before I show you some things on the table, I wanted to share with you some of the bigger items that I picked up this year, which include this easel. We've had this board for a while, but this easel is pretty sturdy. I got it from Michael's. It's an art easel. It has these little hinges that, see if I can't find it, where it just kind of comes apart and folds down. So if you're a homeschool mom and you are, or a parent, and you teach at a co-op and you want something that you can transport, this is really nice and light. Or if your kids have a presentation and you want to just have a board up, this is nice. It can tuck away, it folds down really nice. So I just wanted to share that. I thought that was a good find at Michael's. Some other big items that we've added, another cart. Aiden put a cart together because the boys are doing different levels of curriculum this year. We're not doing a joint thing. I felt it was easier for them to have their own carts. So this is his, and we're going to organize it, and I'll share that soon. We also picked up these boards. Now they're both chalk on one side and dry erase on the other. These are from Home Depot. They're nice and big. The kids have already started using them. They lay them out on the floor and they can write on them. They can use chalk again on one side and erase little markers on the other. So I thought those were a good find. I think these were $8 each. So if you really wanted to, frame them out and do all that, you could. I plan to just tuck them in the closet or on the side of the shelf when we're not using them, and they can pull them out daily to work out problems on. They really enjoy doing that. So I thought those were another good find. And then my 6th grader, as a part of his curriculum, he's supposed to draw a world map, but I saw that it was kind of a challenge, which this map is heavy. Well, not heavy, but big. So this might be a challenge for me to even roll it out. For some kids to draw things to scale and over time. So I felt like it might be easier just to go ahead and get him a giant blank map. And so I don't know how this is going to go, because the back of this, I forgot what it's called, but it's got these ridges on it. I don't know if it's very clear, but it's got these ridges on it. So I'm hoping it doesn't poke through, or maybe I can separate it. I'm not sure, but I thought this was a really good find. I can't roll it all the way out, but it's got the whole world up there, and he can label the map as we go. I think that'll be a less frustrating process for him, as I've seen it has been in the Oak Meadow a curriculum group where people share about, challenges and how they work through certain things. So I'm going to roll this up later and not fight it right now, but I thought that he would really enjoy working with this large map. So we're over at the table now, and I'm going to try to make sure I share where I purchased everything from. If I forget, please feel free to ask me a question about where I got it in the comments, or shoot me a DM on Instagram and I'll get back to you. So I'm going to start with some of the more practical things that I picked up for this school year. Not that I don't feel like everything is pretty practical and functional, but these were like, okay, we need these to get going. So pencils, these are for my youngest, Cam. He likes writing in pencil. I love these pencils. I used to like them growing up too. I got these from the Dollar Tree. I wish they were at the Dollar Tree when I was younger, but they were a little more expensive than that. So I picked these up for him. These I picked up off of Amazon. We like using erasable pens, especially my oldest, and we have different color ones they like to write in, but we just needed some more black ones. And I'll make sure to link this brand. I feel like it's a little bit cheaper than some of the other ones I've used, and they work just as well. The next thing I picked up are planners. I picked up these from Oak Meadow. We're still using our Homeschool Planet, which is our digital homeschool planner. But for example, I might write that they need to do teaching textbooks Monday through Friday, but I won't necessarily write the lesson that they need to do. So they would tell me what lesson they did in here. And we're just doing that. Like if there's a grammar workbook I want them to work on, I'll just say do one page, and whatever the book is, they'll write down the page number that they did. And this has worked for us in the past where I've done it for my youngest especially. My oldest can kind of do it himself pretty consistently, and I can update that in Homeschool Planet, or they can do it. But I'm not sure exactly how I'll do it this year, but this is for them. And I like that it has some of these resources for them in the front of the planner. Some reminders, maps, charts, stuff like that. So I picked those up. Again, these are from Oak Meadow. These are from Amazon. They came in a pack of 3. They are just blank, unlined notebooks. I picked these up because Cameron is in his assignment. He's supposed to be writing in his journal 3 times a week, and I just thought we'd all do it. So I picked up 3 planners for all of us. It came in a pack of 3. The next thing I picked up are these Cambridge notebooks. I started taking the label off this one. I'm waiting on one more. I'm using these for my oldest for science notes, language arts, and history notes. And they're nice, lined. He likes the paper, like the feel of the paper. Sometimes if he's writing, it really bothers him, and it's a distraction for all of us. So especially him. And if I can help avoid that, I do, because these notebooks are a little pricier, but writing with pen or soft color pencils on this paper, he's been fine with. So we're going to continue that. And this was definitely a need going into our school year. So again, I'm waiting on one more of those for him. And page protectors. These are just Amazon basic page protectors. Certain things I want us to hold on to. I don't necessarily want to get the laminator out for. These are really nice and helpful for that. We are also going to put our letters from afar in here. If you've been following, you know we've been using them for years. So we have a big basket of them. They're still in their envelopes that they come in, which was really, when they were younger, it was really sweet and special, and they like to keep opening them up and unfolding the paper. But now it's kind of, we have a lot and it's a lot to do that. So, and it's harder to find letters if we're talking about a certain, geographic location. So we're going to put them in page protectors. The next thing I have here is sticky notes. Just needed some more sticky notes. We use these mainly to communicate with each other. If they are working on a problem in a book, or they're reading something and they have a question about it, they just can write the question for me and I can answer them either on the page or on the sticky note, and we know what we're, just a way to flag. The next thing, next I have here are these manila index card dividers and index cards. This year for spelling, we are going to try to just stick to the way Oak Meadow is doing spelling. And so, bus outside my window. So in doing that, we're going to organize our spelling a little differently than we have in the past when we were using all about spelling, which I'm not saying we won't use it all this year, but I'm going to try to focus with Oak Meadow. So what I did is these little boxes are from Michael's. We've had them for a couple of years, but they fit these index cards pretty well. So I just put new, review, and then A through Z, and then a card in the back that says blank. So this just has the rest of some blank index cards here, and they both have this. So this is how we will do our spelling and vocabulary this year. Next, I picked up a few games, 2 games. These are from Oak Meadow. We love board games, math games especially. We're still using our Right Start Math games and manipulative, so I didn't go overboard in buying a lot of other games, but I thought these wooden die are really pretty and they feel good in the hand, and they would just be fun to play with. We don't have any this size. We have some giant ones, and then of course, you know, we could pull from other games, but I prefer not to do that, to keep all the pieces together. So we'll have this for different games, and then this is just a deck of cards. Nice to have a fresh deck of cards to play math games with. So next we'll move into some of the art supplies we picked up. Our pencils were shrinking down, so I picked up these 2. The packs were on sale at Michael's, so we're buy one, get one half off. So I thought these were really pretty colors to help us replenish, and these will live in I'll take the pencils out and they'll live in our art drawers, which I have a video on how I used to organize our art supplies. A lot of it is still the same, and we're still using our art drawers. Next, I picked up these erasable color pencils. These will live on their carts. They, let's see. In their Oak Meadow, they're identifying parts of speech with color, and I just felt it would be easier, especially for my youngest, if he could write or color over the words in color pencil, and that way, just to give him a little bit of grace, he can erase it if it's not what he meant to do. So he's already started using it and really liked it. This box was actually empty. I could put that in the recycling. The next thing I picked up are these crayons. All of Us skin tone crayons. I did purchase these from Oak Meadow. All the color pencils I purchased either from Amazon or Michael's. This is really sweet. You are perfect. So he still enjoys using his crayons, his block crayons, and I thought these would be a nice addition to his crayon collection and using them in his main lesson books. We have some modeling beeswax. Now, I want to say I got this from Oak Meadow in their kit, but you can purchase these from Michael's or Amazon too. This is for a project. So like I said, I really tried to just get the things that they said we were going to need for projects, that we were going to need for lessons, and not too much more. That way, again, I'm not spending extra money on things, and I'm only purchasing what we need when we need it. So marbling kit, I just kind of want to see what it looks like. Okay, there's some little tubes. So this is for a 6th grader, a project that he has in the first few weeks. I believe it's in the first few weeks. All right, and then he also has this calligraphy kit. I think I got the marbling kit from Michael's, and I think I picked this up from Michael's too. But again, these are listed on their supply list for Oak Meadow. So it came with ink, a pen holder, and some nibs. And we also got calligraphy, or this parchment paper. So he thought that was pretty cool. Oh, so that pad looks like. Have some watercolor paper, nice and thick. and then they each got drawing pads. I only picked up one of these for them this year because we have one already, and then I got them both a drawing pad. And I'm pretty sure I picked these up from Michael's. Maybe one of them came from Oak Meadow, and then it was like buy one, get one half off. I got these two from Michael's. So let me clear my space a little bit. Continuing with a little bit of art stuff left. These are some embroidery needles. I have embroidery floss. I think this is for my oldest son, a project that he will be working on. It doesn't want to focus for me here, but they're embroidery needles. And then we picked up some paints. These are just some watercolors. I think these are from Oak Meadow, and these are from Michael's, or it could be the reverse, but either way, you can get these from either place. And of course, you can buy like kits and stuff on Amazon, different places. Michael's, they suggested specific size paintbrushes in their Oak Meadow curriculum, so I picked these up from Michael's. Well, some paint. And I've been wanting these for a while. We just use mason jars right now, but they're a little bit bigger. They take up more space than they probably need to. And this is just super sweet and cute and a nice holder. I can just drop this on the table and hold our paints until we come back. Mix our paints. And we're not like super artistic. We just enjoy it. So I think that's important to know sometimes when you see, especially if you're a new homeschooler and you see these very artistic mamas doing these very beautiful things. It's awesome, but that doesn't mean if that's not you, you still can't enjoy the process with your kids, and your kids can't enjoy the process. So we definitely do, but that's not our strength right now. These are some erasers. These are just from Oak Meadow. Kim asked if we could get them. So let's see. I don't think you can really see that, but it's an elephant. Next, I picked up these postcards. Cameron has a project where he has to write letters back home as the character in the book. So he is going to be using these to do that. And they are nice and thick. They're actually made so that you can use watercolor on these. And I thought these would be nice for birthdays and thank you cards as well, because he only needs about 5 or 6 for his project, but I thought again we could use them in other ways, and it's nice that they hold watercolor. Okay, so moving on to notebooks, more notebooks here. These are Cameron's notebooks this year. He is using Maine lesson notebooks. These are from Oak Meadow, and they are nice and big. They have this thin onion paper to protect, whatever medium you're using, like chalk or pastels or crayons, from getting on your writing. So that is what he has, and he's already decided which he's going to use for each subject. We also picked up these nature journals. My oldest is still into bugs, so I got him that one, and then my youngest picked this one out. And they look like this inside. The same pages, the date, the lunar phase, location, time, observations, weather, questions, and then more of what I saw today. So that's what are in these. They're nice and cute. They feel good in the hands. I care about that with paper and notebooks. Also from Amazon, we picked up these notebooks. So I got them each a spelling notebook, and inside the pages just look like this. So we'll do a pre-test and a post-test on the other side is what I'm thinking. I also picked them up some new just math grid books. I think these are the 1.5, well, the 1/2-inch grid. So And then they each got a reading journal. So I want them to write down the names of the books they'll be reading and kind of, let's see, they have a book title, author, date, rating, and they can write down questions and things that stand out as we go. At the beginning of the book, you can write down library books. They have the wish lists. You could do something creative with the finished stack, an index for, what page the review that you've written is on. Next, we have a few more main lesson books. I got these from Rainbow Resource, and I picked up these two green ones for my oldest because I don't think he's going to love not having lines. So either he'll write some of his papers, but most of them will probably just type out and we'll just put in here, and then he can do his illustrations for different things on these pages. So this will be these will be for him for history. And then when Cameron does, he'll be learning about the constellations. I thought Aiden might like to do it with us. My youngest will be doing that. I thought my oldest might like to join him. And so this paper makes it so he can draw the constellations, and they show up a little easier, like a little night sky there, and then he can write on the white page. So that is for that. So you see how it's fun, but like not completely necessary, but useful, right? Here next I have some books. I did not do a large book haul. The readers came with their curriculum, and then there are some books that we'll be using with Brave Writer, and depending on how the year is flowing, we'll purchase that month if we're going to be able to do it that month. So I got this more nitty-gritty grammar. This is a suggestion from Brave Writer. So we got more into the programs last year, and so I'm excited to continue incorporating that. I picked up this dictionary for my youngest. We already have one, but they're going to be doing a lot of defining words, and I really want him to take more of an initiative in looking up words when he's not completely, sure what they mean. And I don't mind him asking Google, but I do feel like this is a skill to have. So I'm going to put this on his cart. Another punctuation book. I got this one from my 4th grader. I just think it, as far as fun, this would probably be a more fun book to read, to learn and continue practicing, remembering the different parts of speech. So that's what's in here. And then I can't believe I didn't already have this one, but it's Black History book. Another DK book to add to our collection here. But I got this for our shelves this year to use throughout. The last book I picked up was this one, which is another one from DK. My oldest is doing ancient history this year, and he'll be looking at ancient Egypt. So I thought this would be cool. It's nice and gold. I think it looks more brown in the camera, but it's really pretty gold. And this is a peek inside what it looks like. So very pretty. The last thing I wanted to share were these few things I picked up from a local school store. I picked up all the books from Amazon, the nature journals and all the notebooks, minus the ones I showed you from Rainbow Resource. These things I picked up from our local homeschool store. My youngest will be working through U.S. history and specifically focusing on his local history. And so we're in North Carolina, so I picked these up. Just some quick facts about North Carolina. My state book, thought he might enjoy filling this out as we learn about North Carolina this year. And the great state of North Carolina. It's got some cities and the flag. And then this one is, you can write on it. So he can write out where, the different rivers are, or landforms, things like that. And then it's got some questions on the back. So thought those would make a nice addition to our state learning this year. And then a pencil he picked up. It's kind of hard to see, but it says North Carolina, state capital Raleigh, state tree pine, state flower, flowering dogwood, and the state bird cardinal. And yeah, so that's what's on the pencil. He learned, well, he already knew these things, but he reviewed them right here on the pencil. So that's it for our haul today, guys. If you, again, have a question about where something is from, let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please remember to give it a like and subscribe if you're not already. Welcome back. If you are joining me again, thanks for watching, and I will talk with you all soon. All right, bye.